Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the NatureCity podcast. I'm your host, Pradelli. I'm also the CEO and co-founder of the company, having started NatureCity over 20 years ago with my wife, Beth, and since then it's been our privilege to have served over 500,000 Americans by offering them the best supplements we can make. Today, we're going to be discussing bone health and why taking a calcium supplement is not good enough. Calcium is very important, but it's just one player on a team of nutrients your body needs to form strong and healthy bone mass, and I'll explain what you should look for in a moment. It's easy to overlook our bones because we all have many things we're concerned about when it comes to our health, but here's 3 reasons why keeping our bones strong and dense as we age should matter to all of us. First, there's the most obvious one. As bones lose density, they weaken and are more susceptible to breaking. For those of us who've watched older family members experience fractures or breaks, it can be life-changing and a devastating experience and just heartbreaking to watch, with a lot of pain, loss of mobility and independence, and sometimes sadly contribute to premature death. This alone is a good reason to take care of our bones as we age, but here's another. We think of our 206 bones in our body as forming the skeletal system that gives our body shape and also allows us to stand and move. But bones protect key organs also. Your heart, your brain, your lungs, you name it. We need strong bones to help protect vital organs if, or I should say when, we fall or are involved in an accident or experience some other type of injury. If bones aren't strong enough to protect these organs when needed, it could be fatal. The second very good reason we need to be proactive about our bone health. The third is your bone health affects your joint and muscle health too. A joint is simply where 2 bones meet, and muscle helps provide extra protection that helps keep bones from breaking, as well as supports how well our joints function. And if your joints and muscles are causing discomfort, this typically cuts down on how much you move or exercise. You know the old joke. A guy goes to his doctor and says, "Doc, it hurts when I do this." So the doctor says, "Well, don't do that." When something causes discomfort, we're naturally going to do less of it. But your bones depend on you staying active. For example, when you do even moderate strength exercise, it puts a healthy stress on bones, which stimulates your body to add bone mass, which over time contributes to stronger bones. Plus, exercise helps you maintain muscle mass, which is not easy as we get older and becomes more challenging when we tend to lose muscle as we age. This again helps you protect and also provides extra support for both bones and joints and helps you feel better. It makes it easier to move too. So we have to keep in mind that part of taking care of our bones is helping joints and muscles also. And the inverse is true. It's kind of circular. Now, when it comes to supplements and bones, the advice we often hear is just take calcium. After all, calcium is what makes bones hard, dense, and strong. So that's all we need, right? That's what we thought 20 or 30 years ago. But frankly, that thinking is outdated based on what we now know about bone formation in the body. It takes a team of nutrients that support calcium so your body can continuously make strong, healthy, and dense bones. Further, the type of calcium in your supplement can make a world of difference. And on top of this, in the modern 21st century world, we have another culprit that interferes with good bone health, which is added stress. When the stress hormone cortisol is elevated, it can harm bone health, among many other negative effects. Specifically, high cortisol can interfere with new bone formation and cause bones to degrade faster. The good news is we address all this with our TrueOsteo Plus supplement, which we believe gives you more bone support than any other single nutritional supplement. Here's how it works. It starts with a better form of calcium than you will find in most other bone supplements. You may be surprised to hear that over 90% of the calcium you see in supplements comes from ground up rock like limestone. Calcium from rock is harder for your body to digest and use than dietary calcium because it is an inorganic material or an inorganic mineral. And we're talking about the chemistry definition of inorganic, not the agricultural. Without getting too technical, this means the calcium is not in a digestion-friendly form, and your body has to do a lot of prep work to digest and absorb this type of calcium. And as we get into our 40s and beyond, and our digestive systems don't function as well as they used to, this becomes an even bigger challenge. This limits the value of these supplements and helps explain why, on average, most calcium supplements typically only slow down the loss of bone density, and why rock calcium sometimes causes stomach discomfort or disrupts regularity. In TrueOsteo Plus, we don't use rock calcium. Instead, we use a plant source of calcium derived from algae. This calcium is an organic mineral, which is what your body prefers and can more readily digest, absorb, and put to work. Plus, another advantage is this plant calcium naturally contains organic magnesium, which is also needed for the bone building process and many other useful trace minerals. The ingredient is named AlgaeCal, and unlike rock calcium, research showed that the average user was able to increase bone density after a year and not just slow bone density loss. This alone can make a big difference in your bone health and strength, and AlgaeCal is very unlikely to cause stomach upset or interfere with healthy bowel movements. It has an excellent safety profile and history of use. Now, AlgaeCal, calcium, and magnesium is a great start, but as I mentioned, we now know it takes more to maintain good bone health. And before we move on, you may be happy to hear that all the key nutrients in TrueOsteo Plus are plant-based like AlgaeCal. The next two I want to discuss is vitamin D or vitamin D3 and vitamin K2. I'm sure you're not surprised about vitamin D, as it's known for helping your body absorb calcium. However, it combines with vitamin K2 to do something even more important for bones. Vitamin D and vitamin K2 work together to bind calcium to the bone, which helps you form stronger bones over time. On top of this, these vitamins also work in tandem to redirect calcium from places you don't want it, like arteries and blood vessels, to bones. This helps support both bone health and cardiovascular health. For this reason, we strongly recommend that if you're taking a calcium supplement, also make sure you're taking vitamin D3 and vitamin K2 to help make sure calcium ends up where you want in your bones and not in your arteries. The vitamin D3 in TrueOsteo Plus is from organic algae, and we use the MENAQ7 brand of vitamin K2, which is derived from chickpeas. We use MENAQ7 because it's the only vitamin K2 ingredient with a long-term 3-year study showing it can both help strengthen bones and protect cardiovascular health. TrueOsteo Plus contains the same 180 microgram serving of MENAQ7 that was used in these studies. Another important detail you should be aware of is when you combine vitamin K2 with minerals like calcium and magnesium, the vitamin K2 can degrade in the capsule. You do not have to worry about this with TrueOsteo Plus because the MENAQ7 is protected, which may not be the case with other supplements you see. Finally, one caution about vitamin K2. If you are taking blood thinners, you need to speak to your doctor before taking any supplement with vitamin K2 because of potential interactions. Hopefully, you and your doctor can come up with a plan that works for you, but please be sure to do this. So far, we've discussed plant-based calcium, magnesium, vitamin D3, vitamin K2. Here's another nutrient that many bone supplements miss. It's silicon, which is the main component of the mineral silica. Silicon helps ignite the bone formation process by attracting calcium to the bone, resulting in stronger bones. Research shows that a shortfall in silicon intake is often associated with weaker bones. TrueOsteo Plus gives you silicon from one of nature's best plant sources, which is bamboo shoots. As you may know, bamboo shoots are widely consumed in India and Asia, and what's nice is the silicon not only helps you maintain bone strength and health, but it also can improve the look and appearance of your hair and nails too, a nice added benefit. Another unique part of the TrueOsteo Plus formula is it helps your body cope with stress better and helps keep cortisol, the stress hormone, in a healthy range. As I discussed earlier, when cortisol gets out of whack, it can have a negative effect on bone health by interfering with the bone formation process and even causing healthy bone to degrade. To provide this cortisol support, TrueOsteo Plus contains the Sensoril brand of ashwagandha. which studies show help you maintain healthy cortisol levels. If for some reason you can't or don't want to take ashwagandha, we do have the standard TrueOsteo formula with no ashwagandha as an option. Otherwise, we strongly recommend the full TrueOsteo Plus formula, which thousands have used to improve their bone density and maintain strong bones as they age. As we discussed earlier, bone health can't be overlooked, and it's never too early or too late to support your bones with TrueOsteo Plus. You can find TrueOsteo Plus and the regular TrueOsteo at NatureCity.com. Check them out and get started today. You'll also see links to other podcast episodes where we dive deeper into many of the ingredients we discussed today. That's it for this week. I hope you found this valuable. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel to see future episodes, or you can listen to us on your favorite streaming service. We're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can also go to our website and sign up for our podcast with our email list. This is Carl Pradelli, and I'll see you next week.